And welcome to Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course in Lexington, Ohio. The cars are on the racetrack for the 6th round of the 2001 American Le Mans season, the Grand Prix of Mid-Ohio. Here's your starting lineup for the Grand Prix at Mid-Ohio. The pole sitter, one of the Audis, the one car alongside the number 50. Panos, Brabham, and Magnussen will share that LMP1. Starting in the second row, Frank Villa, Emanuele Pirro, last week's winners at Mosport. And alongside, starting in the 4th spot today, it will be the other Audi, the champion privateer machine, Johnny Herbert, and Andy Wallace will share the 38 car. And your pole sitter, Tom Christensen, in car number 1. And Bill Adam, they had a very, very tough weekend last week at Mosport.
They did indeed, and I think they're going to have a real tough start right here because alongside the massive torque and horsepower of the Panos, look at the Audi though, he got a great start. He probably dragged one foot on the brake, bringing that car up to boost as early as possible. Look at Brabham, he is trying to force that other Audi, keep him out of second place. They made it safely through that corner. Critical for them to do that.
Brabham.
Somebody's spinning.
One car is around. It's one of the 675 Dick Barber cars, I believe. That's the 5 car. Lambert and de Radigues has gone around at the end of the front stretch. Actually, it's called the back stretch here, right after the cars take the green flag. Your leader is the Audi, the number 50 Panos in second spot with David Brabham up. And the second factory Audi is third, followed by the champion machine. The Cadillac's in formation, and there's that Celine. And Bill, we were surprised to see the Celine at the top of the GTS qualifying charts.
Really, it's a huge shock. They've had such a good battle all year long with the two Corvettes, and the Corvettes have done a lot of testing here. This is pretty close to their head base, and they've come down here and tested a ton in the rain, a lot in the dry, and I think they maybe thought they had this place pretty well wired. But right from the word go, Franz Conrad, who had never been here before, came out, immediately loved the track. He has been very fast. Oh boy, here's a challenge up the inside. That's a desperation move. It shows you just how badly he wanted to get by. He took very, very late braking, got cleanly by. Now Brabham is just up on the curb.
The might of the factory Chevy Corvette team has been surpassed by a small manufacturer from California. Steve Saline's SR7 led the class by 1.4 seconds, 1.4 seconds after qualifying, and they're leading the race right now. The car that was chasing best, Ron Fellows in the 3 car, has now dropped over 4 seconds behind the class leader in GTS. He's been passed by his teammate Andy Pilgrim, and the 4 Corvette is the one doing the chasing. Now this may come down to setup and the way that the cars are run, because the drivers of the 3 car certainly believe that as the weather gets warmer this afternoon, the track will tend to push. So they've set their car up loose at the beginning of the race. Now whether that pans out or not, only time will tell. And it's just as fierce in GT. Calvin Fish has more.
Absolutely, Martin. The battle rages on the track right now. It's been going that way all season long. In fact, we have 5 drivers separated by just 1 point in the championship currently, with Jörg Müller and Sasha Masson tied at the top of the charts. But the teams are now really starting to work together. Certainly in qualifying yesterday, we saw that. The McKenna Porsche teammates, Randy Post went out. He said the car was extremely loose. Before Sasha Masson even left pit lane, they made an adjustment to the car, good enough to put that Porsche on the pole. That was a surprise. We expected this to be a BMW track, and JJ Later has immediately gone to the front of the pack.
Take a look at your BMW GT class points. Masson and Mueller at the top, just a point keeping them from Lucas Lauren, Boris Sett, and JJ Leto, who are tied for second.
You really want a close battle for points? Well, it just doesn't get any better than that. Look at that, 3 points from the top 6.
Christensen with a lap of 1:15.4 last time out. Bill Adam, he's quicker and quicker.
He's just amazing right now. I mean, I really think this is part anger and part embarrassment about making that mistake last weekend at Mosport and causing the big crash, because he is just surgically knifing his way around the track. It is so difficult to get a really quick lap here at the track. You have to concentrate so hard and be so precise in so many different varying situations. He's doing this speed through traffic.
Didier de Radigues has been concentrating mightily too in car number 5. They are leading in the 675 prototype category, the lighter weight cars. And this is interesting, especially because de Radigues spun this car shortly after the drop of the green.
Well, I'd see coming down to the end of the straight, the back of the car just got loose. The rubber being left mostly off the rear tires. He was probably underpowered. And this is the end of the number 57 car. This is a sister car, the John Graham Milka Duna car.
So I'm surprised, Bill, that so far the Corvettes haven't shown much strength.
Well, and the other surprise to me, quite honestly, is that this car is not running away after seeing a 1.5 second gap in qualifying. Now, Terry did come over just before the start of the race. In fact, it looks right now that Andy's actually closing up a little bit, but Terry Borcheller go over before the start of the race and said the car owner had, after warm-up, completely changed the car. He wanted different shock settings, different spring settings, different sway bar. Both Terry and the engineer tried to talk about it doing this, but he was intent on doing it, so they really started the race not knowing what this car is going to be like. And based on their lap times, they're lapping a couple of seconds slower than their qualifying time.
Now, Andy Pilgrim has taken over the lead in the yellow Corvette there in car number 4. Franz Conrad Celine next in line as they work tough traffic down the backstretch into the kink.
A pair of 7-liter monsters flying down the straight, and Andy just simply pulled to the inside. Very, very late braking. You saw how cleanly it was done. The car didn't wiggle or squiggle or leave a trace of smoke off the tires. Textbook pass.
You're always in traffic.
Oh,
but you're not. Conrad gets loose in the corner and gives up a lot of ground.
Great job on recovering there by Franz Conrad. He really got loose.
Donnie Wilson, the Michelin tire engineer, is down checking the temperatures around David Brabham's car. Brabham is intent on staying in and doing the best job he can here, but it looks as though David is content to go with what he's got and try and give it a better second stint.
Here's Andy Wallace, the 38 machine. Looks as though he's made a little contact. We understand maybe he clipped the Celine on the way by. One of the little canard wings on the left front fender there flapping in the breeze. To the inside of the keyhole, heavy contact there.
Holy man, that really was heavy contact. Andy Wallace doing an absolute miracle keeping control of that car. That's a full course yellow, so
first one of the day.
Isn't that amazing? I didn't think that would take place. There's the car. That's why we're stopped. That's stuck in a gravel trap. It's in a dangerous position.
Phil Collin in that GT Porsche, the 52 car.
Now he's coming over the crest.
He's offline.
Oh boy.
Way offline.
You know what? I think he tried to take a look in his mirror just to see what was going on and probably lost his concentration moment.
Taking advantage of this caution period to bring the Audi in. There's going to be a driver change and, of course, tyres. Tom has done a stint and a half effectively. We're really about right at halfway in this race right now. So Dindo's going to be getting in, and he's waving at Tom right now. There may be something wrong there. Tom is jumping back in. Looked like a routine change. Fueling has been done, and a bit of a problem there with the seatbelts, I think. But he gets a tap on the head from Tom. Everything looks okay. Let's go down to Martin.
Driver and tyre changes for the third place car on the racetrack, the 50 Paynos. David Brabham has jumped out. Jan Magnussen in for the final stint with fresh tyres on the rear of the car as well as the front. But you can see how tight this pit lane is.
We left you. We were under caution, and we're under caution again. Coming to a restart this time by, but there's been a lot of changing, Bill Adam. Many of these teams electing to come to pit road for probably their final stop of the afternoon.
Well, this is one caution that I really enjoyed seeing because it really has closed up this field tremendously, and it actually has put the lead into jeopardy. Now watch, coming out of the start-finish straight, you see that Lola gets sideways and then tags the wall hard. This obviously required a pace car coming out because the car is sitting on a totally blind corner. The Corvette battle, you see the two Corvettes, they go by right there. That is first and second GTS. So by Ron Fallows, as they said earlier, hanging on, it paid off. They are right back in the thick of things.
Battle for second right here among the prototypes. Dindo Capello is in the one car, and he is your race leader. But his teammate, the two car, Frank Biela, they've been on pit road. We'll show you that in just a moment. Here's the battle for second among the prototypes, trying to come through the field. James Weaver in the 16 is being shown in second spot right now for Rob Dyson. And a pit stop, a penalty for the one car we're being told.
Well, the gods of competition are smiling today. The #1 Audi, we've just been informed, they will have to make a pit stop, a penalty pit stop. They had this race locked up, sewn away, sent off to the bank.
Well, Dindo Capello brought it in, barely brought it to a stop, stalled it slightly and he's back underway, but we believe that the penalty is for when the pace car initially went out. Dindo flew by the pace car, had to slow way down, let the pace car back by, so I don't think it was on the restart, Bill. I think it was for the initial infraction when they first went yellow.
Now we've got less than an hour of racing to go. Magnussen driving the 50. The penalty to the one car has put Magnussen into the lead through the kink and into the S's on the backside of the race course here at Mid-Ohio.
This is incredible. These guys, Jan Magnussen, David Brabham, they are having so much fun by having brought this old car out. We're joking earlier saying, well, if they're doing this well with a year-old car, what about if they bring out the 2-year-old coupe? Are they really going to dominate?
And we've got problems. We watched Boris Said have trouble earlier. He has stopped on the race course. Boris out to maybe he's going to change the tire. He's thrown the trunk up, Bill. Earlier this week, Hans Stuck, Boris's teammate, got stuck in the gravel trap on Thursday during practice here. Same area.
Yeah.
He had to go and get the shovel to dig himself out. Now, Stuckey is a full-service driver.
He is. You always said he could shovel it, and there is the Hans device.
Green flag in the air. Magnussen takes him down into turn 1. Here comes Biela. Frank Biela right behind him in the 2 car, but not on the same lap. That team had a lengthy pit stop a little while ago because they had to change an engine part. They had to take the engine cover off. It's 50, 16, and 1, the top 3, as we show you the standings.
Here we go again.
On the screen.
This is exactly what he tried last time, Rick. He's going to try going up the inside, very deep. He's got him this time. Clean pass.
Boy, it took him a lot of laps to do it, though.
Oh.
Let's check in on the GTS battle for supremacy. The 2 Corvettes are where we've seen them so many times this year, at the top of the charts. The 4 car, though, with Kelly Collins is the leader by just a couple of car lengths over the 3. Johnny O'Connell taking over from Ron Fellows. They are sitting 10th and 11th overall, and they've got a lap, Calvin Fish on Terry Borcheller. Here comes Johnny O to the inside for the lead in GTS, and he's got it.
Well, they're certainly having a lot of fun out there, Rick, and there's no holds barred out there between the Corvette boys. They made the changes during that pit stop to the sway bars on the number 3 car. Johnny reported in the car is much better balanced than I expect Ron was dealing with.
The Saleen team had such high hopes coming in. They were on the pole. They just couldn't hang on. They had problems, wheel problems earlier, and it cost them the lead, and the Corvettes are out in front. You're on board with Dirk Mueller, and he's a little bit behind his teammate, Jörg Mueller. Let's get an update on the BMW situation from pit road.
Well, I just saw Dirk Mueller go into turn 1 right behind his teammate and put the brakes on remarkably early. I went up to Charlie Lamb. I said, the boy's going to race. He said, no, we're running for the championship. Jörg is currently leading. It'll be team orders here unless something unforeseen happens. So we expect those guys to run in tandem, hopefully to the checkered flag.
Martin Heyman, the Porsche group, Alex Job's team, they certainly had high hopes before the drop of the green flag here today. It just hasn't quite worked out for them, has it?
Well, that's right. It's the pace car, unfortunately, that's caught them out. They were battling hard with the 2 Schnitzer BMWs. And in fact, the 2 Alex Job Racing Porsches were the last 2 cars to come onto pit road for their fuel. And they got out onto track back ahead of the BMWs. The only problem is they were right behind the leader. And when the safety car came out for the first time today, they went the best part of a lap down as the Schnitzer cars went all the way around and caught onto the back of the train, just half a dozen cars behind the Porsches.
And we're starting to hear that Dindo Capello on the radio saying, hey, I'm being blocked out here.
That's baloney. I don't believe you, Dindo. Lagorce is trying as hard as he can, and he is...
and it's frustrating.
It is frustrating. Yeah, I know. Dindo would love to get around, but I think that's the difficulty. Remember back to Sears Point, we watched Andy Wallace go through a long, frustrating series that the Panos has come off the corners so well. They're very strong off corners.
Here's the Corvette just in front of the 1 car. And he comes down on maybe a little contact there, Bill.
There was contact with the left front fender of the Audi. Now here's a different view of it. You see, he's trying to do anything he can at this point just to squeeze up, but that was a move he should not have tried.
Here's the 2nd place. Johnny Herbert got by Capello.
Yeah, you see Johnny Herbert, that's the champion car right ahead. So Capello, I thought that car was starting to get a little bit loose watching him come off the corners.
1 car has gone around. The Dyson machine is off the racetrack. James Weaver has stopped up on the top of the keyhole. He backs it back up onto the surface, gets it refired.
Good job, James.
Weaver was 3rd. That will cost him considerable ground and track position. Maybe not the spot, though. We'll find out next time by. But Weaver trying to shake the gravel out of the car. And let's take another look at what happened down to the keyhole. Watch for the white car on the inside.
Oh, my.
A little contact with one of the Audis perhaps there. And one of the Porsches, one of the Alex Job machines on pit road. Let's go to Calvin Fish.
Well, we believe it's a half-shot problem, guys. This is really big in the championship. Sasha Massa was leading the championship. He handed over to Lucas Luhr. They're running in the top 5. Mueller leads for BMW, but if they come out of here losing a handful of points here this afternoon, it's going to have a big effect on the championship. And Alex Job is now pulling the plug and telling Lucas to get out of the car.
Magnussen in the final. Less than a mile now here in Mid-Ohio. Checkered flag will be in the air this time by. Corvette's moving through, and here comes Magnussen. Veteran of Formula One, veteran of kart champ cars.
I wish we had a microphone right now so we could hear what he's saying in his helmet. This would be a good one.
Out of the final corner, under the checkered flag, the Panos to victory lane. Car number 50. That was David Brabham screaming there on the pit wall. Magnuson with his fist in the air, and the Panos team scores an upset victory. They're second in the last 3 tries. Bruno Lambert at the wheel. Didier de Radigues started the car. Lambert, they spun on the first lap, you'll recall. De Radigues got it pointed in the right direction. They came back up on the racetrack, and the 5 car wins the 675 prototype category. Lambert brings that machine home first. And in GT, as we watch the final trip around, this is the 43 car. Dirk Mueller right behind his teammate Jorg Mueller, first and second in GT.
Oh, I thought he's going to give him a little bump there.
The Schnitzer cars will finish nose to tail 1-2. In GT, the GTS battle goes to Johnny O'Connell and Ron Fellows in car number 3.
Now, David, 2 wins in 3 races. This is something, I guess, early in the year that the Panos team would have been hard-pressed to imagine. This old bird, though, she's really served you well.
It's unbelievable, the turnaround we've had this year, and I have to say this result is a fantastic team result. I mean, we got the pit stop was fantastic. We got out in front, got Jan the lead, and then he did the rest. And of course, we had a lot of help from Frank LaGourse and Klaus Graf. And fantastic effort from Michelin, Sensomatic. It's just been fantastic. Great day by all.
Well, Jorg Mueller took the win today with JJ Lehto, and with it the championship lead. You love this place, Mid-Ohio.
Yeah, definitely. It was a fantastic circuit. You know, I really enjoy going on the proper race circuit. I mean, last year we had lots of oval, which don't suit our cars. So I'm really happy to get onto really good road circuits, and that's one of the best at the moment.
The cautions fell your way. It split the leader in between you and the Porsche. You effectively went a lap up, and then team orders. Didn't look like Dirk was really hassling you too bad at the end there.
Yeah, but on the other hand, if you look at the time, that was still quite competitive, because I was at the beginning between the 2 other BMWs, which are also fighting for the championship. So we are still doing competitive times. I think he couldn't have gone by.
Johnny O'Connell, when we spoke to you early in the race, Ron was dropping back. The car had got too loose. The racetrack wasn't coming to you. Looked like it was a tough afternoon, and judging by the state of you, it ended up that way as well.
It really was. It was a lot of hard work. You know, first off, you know, we got to totally tip our hat to everyone at Goodyear. Man, they've stepped up. You know, I always knew that they were the best tire for the street, and now, man, the best tire on the racetrack. These guys are doing an awesome job. K-Tech Engines, Ron had such a miserable race car, and you know, he kept us in the hunt. And you know what? Cautions worked our way, but our car might not have been really good in the corners, but it was so good under the brakes, and I really think that's what our strength was. But man, Ron did awesome. The Pratt and Miller guys are the best, and it's an honor to be part of this Corvette deal.
Ron, you did all the donkey work. He owes you big. He's got to start it next time, especially if it's not set up right.
No, I think I think we're going to keep this combination. It seems to be working. I've started and Johnny's finished, and it's worked out real well. That was probably the toughest one I've done, and but the guys did a great job in the pit stop.
You know, it was bad luck for Celine, because I want to race them, and I wish they'd quit breaking that thing, because I think we can take them in a fight. So sooner or later, you know, they'll get that thing to finish a race, and you know, this Corvette, man, just runs and runs and runs. It's a good deal.